Hi class, this is Susan Grow. You can call me Dr. G. I will be your instructor for the Fundamentals regular track for this spring. I am planning on going over the syllabus and some navigation for you about this, how to navigate and find your way around this course. So, bear with me, it shouldn't take hopefully no more than a half hour to maybe 35-40 minutes at the most. First, I want to begin with the Start Here button on this home page, so make sure you click on that to begin with before you start getting into the modules and the syllabus first. I wrote up a little welcome note for you all, so hopefully you'll take the time to read it. Main thing what I want to point out is that I prefer my email for any questions you have through Web Campus. The at nsc.edu web email is that's kind of more busy with a bunch of other work email and other stuff, so I might lose your questions in that email. So it's just much easier if you can contact me through Web Campus. That way I will get for sure your email. But anyway, I have some questions that some students have asked in the past, so feel free to go through this and see if that will help answer some questions. If not, again, just email me through Web Campus and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And then what I have here is at the bottom here on number 6 under Steps for Getting Started, please make sure you complete that student agreement quiz because that's going to be part of your quiz grade as well. It's only 3 questions and you should all get 100% on it and no problems, which is nice to get started and get your first quiz done, and it's 100%. That should be done. It's due, I believe I had it set up for the first day, so please make sure you get that completed. Next, let's go back to the home screen and let's look at those tabs one more time just to make sure that I have you all covered. Oh, my maximum on this is 15 minutes, I just realized, so you're going to get a couple of these probably together, so I'll have to watch the time. So the syllabus will take you to the syllabus. The modules will take you to the modules. You can also access those on the left-hand columns as well. It just depends on what type of a person you'd rather click, but the buttons all work either way. The clinical materials, this is going to have your clinical materials in there. Right now they're not there because we're updating them. And so hopefully they'll be a lot easier and better for you in understanding in your clinical. But I do have right now your evaluation for midterm and final. And that is what you fill out for yourself on what you did well and how you can improve as well. And then we have the clinical instructor evaluation of how your clinical instructors are going to evaluate you. And so it's always nice to know how you're going to be evaluated so you can look at that and plan accordingly for what you need to do in clinical so that you will pass clinical. Clinical is a pass-fail for this course, so please make sure that if you fail it, then you fail the entire first semester and then you have to reapply and it's a mess. So we don't want that. So we want you to be successful and pass that course. The last 2 bottom buttons here, NSC policies and IT support, those are just your typical IT department and regular NSC policies, so you're more than welcome to click through those. And then you have information regarding myself, Professor Rob Reynoso, Professor Mitzi Flores, Dr. Stephanie Durfer, and Professor Catherine Spence, your clinical instructors as well, so in case you want to get a hold of them. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty about the syllabus. Alright, so I'm not going to read this all to you, I'm just going to point out the highlights. I'm expecting you to read these so that you'll be prepared for course. It is my understanding that the course is going to be in room 224 at the NSC building, but we will double check on that and I'll send an email if you're not going to be in there. Otherwise, we will see you next Tuesday in that building. You also have some simulations that's scheduled for your clinical groups, and that's on March 2nd for Centennial Hills and the VA, and then March 9th for Siena and San Martin. Those are days that you need to attend. There's no clinical prep for that group that is going to SIMS. Otherwise, everybody else is doing clinical prep starting that time. Clinical course is every Wednesday. We start February 3rd because the other first 2 weeks you're going to be at the CSCLV learning about baths and bed making and things like that, so that way you will be prepared for clinical before you go in. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute when I get to the topical calendars. Let's see. Oh, and you're going to have a dosage and calculations exam. That is scheduled at the CSCLV as well on February 24th from 1 to 3 p.m. So we will get you prepared for that, and because we want you to be successful. You need to reach a 90% or higher on it. We would expect you 100%. When you get to your last semester in nursing school, you will have to get a 100% on your dosage and calculations exam. So we're going to strive for that. Otherwise, that means you made 10% meta errors on your patients, and we don't want that. Let's see. Oh, and then starting March 2nd, you'll be moving to 12-hour shifts. The first few weeks in clinical itself is getting yourself organized with the paperwork, getting yourself organized with finding information off the computer and how to provide care to these patients, such as baths, bed making, vital signs, etc., those CNA stuff. And then you'll get into moving into nursing, registered nursing work in March 2nd. We do have a few holidays. Take note. The big one is spring break. We are on spring break March 23rd through the 29th, so it starts on a Wednesday and ends on a Tuesday. It's not your NSC spring break. School of Nursing has a different spring break. And then still faculty information, some textbooks. Hopefully what I want to make sure that you all got was the Elsevier adaptive quizzing. That is important for you to have purchased, as well as the study guide. Those are two things that, in addition to the textbook, that you needed to have for this course. As you can see, I'm skimming through a lot of this stuff. It's not that it's not important, it's just I don't want to waste your time when you can read this yourself. You don't need to listen to me speaking for that long period of time. We do have a course assistant. I believe her name is Peggy Lee that we are going to have. She is wonderful and sweet. She is there to help make sure that you guys are going to be successful in this course. And again, that's what we want, is success. I'll go back to the theory calendar in a minute. That'll be probably on the second section, part 2 of this. Let's scroll down to, this talks about the dosage and calculations test. I highlighted it on here for you to remember to put that in your calendar, helping to get yourself organized. I do have 6 quizzes set up for this course. It is to better prepare you for your lab course. Because I talk about the theory and the lab in theory class, the quiz is at the end of the theory class. It's usually the last 20 minutes. It's given online, so please bring your laptops or some kind of device where you can answer multiple choice questions on it from Web Campus. It shouldn't take you, excuse me, it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to do these questions. They come straight from the study guidebook or close to it, so if you answer the questions in your study guidebook, you will be fine. You should be able to figure it out. If you do not answer it, then it's your loss. So hopefully you'll answer those questions in your study guidebook to help study for the quizzes. We have one on the first day of class, so please be prepared. And it is expected, just like your quizzes as well as your exams, you need to have a proportional average of all your quizzes, at least to average out to 75%, as well as all your exams need to be proportional average of at least 75% total for all your exams as well. Not meaning you have to have 75% for each quiz and each exam. It's a total percentage for each of those. So hopefully you will do well. You don't have to worry about it. The adaptive quizzing is, this is the special code. You need to log in to Elsevier Adaptive Quizzing. You need to punch in my course ID. If you have any questions about this, please email me. It shouldn't be too difficult. to log in. Students last semester said they were able to get in. The schedule is that you will have a quiz, weekly quiz that you should take with each chapter. Its weekly quiz is set up so that you will answer the question and then immediately it's going to give you the rationales right away. You will want to practice that, see how well you do, and then when you take, the rule is to read the textbook, take the quiz, see how well you do, come to class, and then you'll get ready for the exam. Now the exam one is for all the chapters that you're going to go over for your exam one, and you're going to go over those, and you want to get a level 1 or level 2. And the problem with the exams is they don't give you the rationales right away. You have to take the whole exam first, and then it'll give you the rationales after that. But there are only 12 questions for each chapter, so hopefully it won't take you too long. But again, plan accordingly. So level 1, you'll get 5 points in the gradebook. Level 2, you'll get 10 points in the gradebook. If you didn't complete it, you'll get 0 points in the gradebook. However, if you do master all the questions, or all the chapters for that exam, I'll give you 2 extra points on your exam if you achieve a 75% or higher on that exam. So it's kind of a nice little cushion if you get mastery. But I've been told that mastery level is really hard to get to. So that's something you'll want to strive for, but I couldn't make that worth points on your grade if it takes that difficult to get up there, all right? And I'm going to stop here for that, and because ATI is going to take a little bit longer too. So we'll start with ATI on the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and stop.